Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about faith, hope, and everything that I love. So, tonight, we're in my car because I wanted to do a little story time and also try out the new McDonald's sauces. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about them. One of them is like a jam and then the other one is more so like a sauce. So I went to McDonald's and I got a number 5, which is like French fries and like chicken nuggets. Anyways, before I jump into that, or maybe while I jump into that, yeah, let's do that. Wanted to do a little like story time because obviously the reason why I'm doing this is because it's something that I love, right? So food. We're talking about food, why I and how I became like a foodie, a food lover, all things food. So when I was a kid, my mom was very strict, right? Not really gonna jump into all of that. But one thing that she did, and she worked all the time, like she was a housekeeper. A lot of people in my family were housekeepers, right? So I don't know how I'm gonna talk while I eat, so that's not happening. Anyways, a lot of the time my mom would work and then she would be tired like by the time everything settles down around 8 or 9, so she would chill out for a while, and then come like 11 midnight, it didn't matter if it was a school night or not, we would have our midnight snack, which was the time where we bonded with my mom and she made like homemade chips and we'd have salsa, any other dip that we wanted, the spread, right? And then we would watch Food Network channel, meaning like Emerald Lagasse, I forget the dude from Good Eats, him, and then Unwrapped, Rachel Ray, a couple of other people. Um, just Unwrapped was my favorite. So that was just like where it all started. Yeah, I just started loving food. I started like trying out like recipes. I remember one time I was at my grandma's house and she had fallen asleep, and I got so inspired by something I seen on the Food Network channel probably, and they had like constructed this like little food like house or like gingerbread or whatever, but for like the windows for like stained glass wise, like think of a church, they melted like some type of like confectioner sugar or something. And obviously one my grandma did not have in her house because I tried it in the oven to try to melt down whatever sugary thing that I found, and it smelled so bad, and guys, it was just like so burnt. And then cleaned it all up without her waking up to the smell. I don't know how, because it was rancid, like it was so bad, like borderline burning hair smell. But cleaned it all up, got rid of the smell. I don't remember how I did that because I think it was like a mess in her oven. Um, and then I was like, I don't give up on things. Okay, I really don't. Go big or go home. And I was all in, so I was like, well, I still technically have time and she didn't wake up. So let me try it in the microwave. And I tried it in the microwave and same thing, but this time she woke up and it was just like a mess. It didn't work. I was disappointed because I wanted to make these stained glass edible windows and it just didn't freaking work. And then I'm pretty sure I got into like a little bit of trouble. I still need to figure out how to do that just to like give my little girl inside like a hug. Um, put that on my checklist. But yeah, and then so that kind of just spiraled into I wanted to be a chef for the longest time. I think watching Food Network definitely with my brother and my mom, just bonding over food, uh, really put me on the path of like, okay, like, and then like shows like Eddie's million dollar cook off, like that was definitely a Disney Channel show that I had seen. What's another one? I'm pretty sure there's a couple other. Um, do you guys remember? It's called like Boogie Goo, and it was like Don't Look Underneath the Bed, and it was kind of like a kid horror movie or whatever on Disney Channel. But they cooked on there, and it was called like Boogie Goo. That really inspired me to want to like cook more or just like get into creating in the kitchen. Um, yeah, and then I kind of dropped off. Oh, and then I like took some classes in high school for culinary arts. I started out doing cosmetology and then I just didn't like the drama within just because I mean it's high school, but um I just didn't like the atmosphere and I knew I had always had like a heart for cooking, so I switched into culinary arts. Fell in love with it a bit more, but like my thing is like I get into like certain things that I love and then there's so much like not artistic things about the things that I love. And by that I mean like in cooking, right? It's all fun and games and you can like mix stuff and be like, "Ooh, I wonder what this tastes like. I wonder what that tastes like," and create. But then there's also like math behind it and measuring and all of that. And that's just the stuff that my creative brain is just like, ugh. Um so I ran into that a lot. And I know like having a more mature brain now, whatever I do eventually put a career in or dabble into, there's always going to be a side of something that is just kind of boring. Um, Anyways, did that for a little bit, and then I kind of dropped off the whole chef thing. And my grandma was like one of my, even though I did that in her kitchen, she still was like, "Go, Jess," for the freaking becoming a chef. But I dropped it off because my parents had convinced me, at the time, and I think a lot of parents, not trying to throw mine under the bus, but it was just like, is that going to make you money? And like, is becoming a chef, it's going to be hard. And like, it's just not going to put bread on the table unless you become like somebody like Emeril Lagasse. But also, like, it was kind of like their fault because like inspiring me, like watching like Food Network all the time, they kind of without knowing it, like built that in me to become a chef. Now that I like look back, like there was no other alternative besides like horror films that we watch. So I don't know. Cooking shows, Food Network, like hats off to you because like my freaking childhood was like built on that. Other than that was like American Idol, but that's a whole different video. Anyways, my lights just shut off in here. So I'm gonna turn back on my car and then we're gonna try out these sauces because I'm freaking excited. So I got French fries. Anyways, my grandma was so mad, right? That's what I was saying. My grandma was so mad because like my stepdad and my mom supported and was just like, "Hey, you should become a nurse." Instead of like doing that. So I was just like, "Okay." And they're like, "It's gonna make a lot of money. You'll always like need a nurse." Which I mean, they're not wrong, but anyways, my grandma was so mad when I told her, and she's like, "You don't want to be a nurse. You're just saying that because your parents, like, you should become a chef and follow your dreams." So I love you for that, Grandma. She's no longer here, but um, yeah, maybe I'll dabble into that at some point. I know on this channel I want to um, go ahead and do like cooking tutorial videos. I have so many cookbooks now, and my daughters actually love to cook. That's another like bonding that I transferred over from my mom and me and my brother to my kids. They love baking with me. So, anyways, without further ado, got French fry, and then I got, let's see here. So we got mambo, and then we got sweet and spicy jam. So the lady, the cashier at McDonald's, the one I went to, she was very sweet. She was like Hawaiian or something. She said she really liked this one. And then, which is the mambo, and the sweet and spicy jam kind of like kicks you in the throat. That's what she said. That's actually what she said, not that's what she said. Anyways, so we're gonna go ahead and try the one that I wanted to try, this sweet and spicy jam. I usually get in sweet and sour. That's my jam, okay? I didn't plan that. Okay. Ooh, that does smell spicy. Is that like actually a jam texture? It is. Okay. Well, sort of. I wish I can like have you guys smell this. So let's see here. It just looks like that. I will say the flavor palette, these nuggies are like stale or something. But the flavor palette doesn't seem like something that you would find in a good way at McDonald's. It seems like something like Buffalo Wild Wings or something like that, like their fancier sauces. So I really do like this sauce. I think it would be better with like a French fry, but I definitely see how she would say that it would kick you in like your throat. Because I get that sense, but I kind of like it though. Okay, so the Mambo. It reminds me of like Dallas Cowboys or something. I'm happy I went too, guys, because I actually looked on their menu and it said limited edition. So just saying, I'm happy that I went because I'd have been sad if I wouldn't have tried the jam. So I tried their caramel macchiato too. It's pretty good. It's very sugary. The older I get, I'm like, I cannot do like super sugary drinks. But their sweet tea is really good. But even that one, the second time I had a sweet tea today, I had to do like half sweet and like half not because it's just kind of like, I cannot. My teeth cannot. Okay. So the Mambo sauce, it's like a brown. This one's more of like a not really sticky texture. I don't really like it. This one more so like kicks you in your throat than anything. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of like a ketchup type of taste, but like spicy. Like spicy ketchup. Almost like, what is that? Like, it's not A1, it's like the 57 sauce. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like you put it on like steak other than A1 sauce. That's what this kind of like reminds me of. But I don't really eat that all the time, so you could take that with a grain of salt. There's just like a lot of spice. I don't know. Maybe with like a fry. Maybe you would have to be like in a mood for it. But I do like spice though because one of my favorite spices ever, and I've actually made it. Maybe I'll make a video about making it at home because they charge so much for it. Well, they don't charge a lot, okay? But if you go to that chicken place, Popeyes. Love that chicken at Popeyes. Okay. So if you go there, they have a sauce and it's called Sweet Heat, and I actually like recreated it and then I fact checked it on Google, I believe, to see like what was in it because I was like, dude, why does this like remind me of this flavor palette? I'm not going to ruin it. Don't really remember either. But Sweet Heat is my jam. So I do like spices. I'm not like, you know. But I don't really like the Mambo one. I like the jam one. I do. Anyways, thank you for coming to my McDonald's story time foodie lover TED Talk. And I hope you guys have a really good day. Really good night. It's nighttime here. And thanks for watching.